Okay, so is Dan not coming?
Dan is
here.
here, but he's not allowed to.
He's here as a civilian.
Involved in the committee today.
He's not at work.
He's the bystander.
I'm like, I don't know this. I was here, but we don't. Here, but not.
He's here. He doesn't get him sick. He just stepped up.
Okay, I'm like, wait a minute. Okay. All right, I gotcha. All right, so we're gonna call to order the Environmental Protection Committee today, June 17th at 1:07 or so. I'm saying that. Oh my gosh. That's a good judge time. Okay. So does anybody have any corrections to the minutes from the last meeting? So seeing as there are none, they are approved. Okay, so then we have item 1A. We're going to start right off with Shannon Hardy from WEP. And this is a resolution calling for a public hearing with proposed improvements for the Onondaga County Sanitary District. And if you saw the packet, it's long.
It's
just easier to have you walk us.
Yes, and so keep in mind, under County Administrative Code, we, under 11A, the WEP, as the administrator of the county's consolidated sanitary district, approves our capital projects in a two-phase process. And actually it started back earlier this year. So you guys get the capital improvement plan as part of the 2025 budget. So you reviewed all these projects were included in that, and now we've advanced them through our engineering process and pushed them into full map plan and reports that are associated with each of those projects. We did hold the commissioner's hearing associated with that. That was on June 4th. No one showed up because we didn't get any comments. So with that, I have assembled those packages, submitted to the county executive. He has approved it. We are now respectfully submitting it to you and requesting that you as a legislature schedule the public hearing for the public under the legislative approval process. So that's all that's in front of you today is the resolution calling for the public hearing to hear comments on the 7 projects that are listed within that resolution. So
That would be August 5th at 12:55. Correct. Per our agenda. Does anybody have any questions? Okay. So can I get a motion to approve 1A, Legislator Cody, and second, Legislator Kelly? All in favor?
Aye.
Item 1A carries. Great. Okay, Shannon, 1B, is it you or is Ben here? Both of you.
Ben,
actually.
Ben, do you want to come sit with me just in case? I mean, I'm happy to run with
all
this, but I always like having legal support.
This is, yes,
So,
DEC settlement. So
yes.
tell us a little bit about where, what.
So,
It's 140 grand, but explain it. Thanks.
yeah, and so what the background of this is, WEP has a trunk sewer in like just in between the village of Solway and Onondaga Lake.
Near West Rock, where that area is.
Yeah, near West Rock. And so what it is actually there is a low area where the sewer runs through the chemtrade, what we're calling the chemtrade property. And so we've got a couple manholes that during extreme rains and during different wet weather events, the sewer backs up and overflows and is reaching an adjacent storm sewer that connects and discharges to Onondaga Lake. And so we became aware of this issue, I believe it was sometime last summer. And so we've been working with the DEC since last summer on this and mitigating and what the mitigation is to eliminate this SSO. And obviously because of the complexities with the interconnections and the adjacent chemtrade property, it's not a simple and easy solution. And so, in working with DEC, with this being an ongoing wet weather event, so anybody who's signed up for New York Alert, you will see those. We are noticing it to the public as required under the Sewage Pollution Right to Know Act. But we've been working with DEC to develop the intermediate, what we're calling the intermediate mitigation, which is we're going to bolt down those manhole covers to stop that overflow. But in the process of that, what it's going to do is it's going to further surcharge and almost pressurize the sewer. And so those adjacent properties that are connected to it, we need to implement a new pump stations for them to be able to pump into the trunk sewer. Ultimately, long-term, what we need to do is study and look at how much bigger that sewer needs to be to have the capacity to ensure that everything, has the hydraulic capacity it needs to get from where it needs to go to the west side pump station and ultimately to the metro plant. So what this consent order is memorializing the legal agreement between the county and DEC on what we are committing to do to address this issue and the timeline for which we're going to do it. And so as part of this order, yes, there are fines. There was obviously the $100,000 fine, 10,000 of it payable, 90,000 suspended pending us moving forward with addressing the issue. And then the environmental benefit project, which is a $40,000 payment to Central New York Regional Planning and Development towards facilitating and advancing the Tully mud boil. Again, all with the gain of protecting Onondaga Lake, various issues related to Onondaga Lake. So anything else you want to add?
No, just when you think pump station, think mini pumps.
That's what I was.
Yeah.
They're not the
That's
White
what I
Pine
was
pump
thinking.
station, they're individual, they're called grinder pumps, they're like,
Yes.
yeah.
Sort of like mini.
Yep.
What we've been-
Just to pressurize it so it can
Correct.
go to the line.
Correct.
Yep.
So can you just explain, just in terms of like the enormity or not, like what is the challenge with chemtrade, like having the private piece versus us?
So Darcy, do you want to go to the figure? I think it might be helpful if we go to the figure. So a little bit about this. On the left-hand side, you can actually on the right-hand side is kind of get you the aerial setting of it, like so that the yellow box on the right-hand side shows you where this is in proximity. Obviously south of Onondaga Lake, south of 690. An important feature that complicates this is the railroad tracks. So we've got the railroad tracks running right through this area. So on the left-hand side is kind of the zoom in, and what you're seeing, the green line is our trunk sewer, where it comes down in from the south on the bottom of that image, and it's actually flowing from the south to the north, down through the chemtrade property, and then it goes up along the railroad tracks. And so where we've got the capacity restriction is that area where it's running along the railroad tracks. So not an easy place for us to get into, particularly to do expansions and upgrades and remediation to whatever the capacity restriction is. But important to note, that section in like the chemtrade property is actually a belly. It's in a valley. So the sewer is actually, the ground level drops, but the sewer stays flat. So the sewers are very shallow there. And there's an employee parking lot. So you'll see that's where those overflows are occurring. And then all those blue lines are storm sewers that are connecting out to Onondaga Lake. And again, as you pointed out, Julie, this is all private property. We have easements down through there, but it's an old industrial site. There's a lot of underground utilities for us to work through. There's agreements with Chemtrade, there's agreements with Honeywell that definitely complicate our ability to get in and get this fixed.
Honeywell, just because they own that little corner in the top, where the topmost red manhole indication is, sort of by the, yep. So they own that property, so there's a manhole on that property. So it's two properties we need access agreements with and general agreements as to operation maintenance of the systems once installed.
Can I just ask, are you having, is it a struggle to get those kind of agreements? I understand liability and private property, et cetera, but you would think who good business partnership.
I think
Stewardship
honestly,
of our watershed.
they have been willing to sit at the table with us.
Okay, that's
And,
good.
I think it's just more complicated budgets and who's going to do what and when. And, I think it's just a challenge to get everybody to the table at the same time. But I don't think there's anybody who isn't willing to help resolve this issue in a timely fashion.
And
Is that fair to say, Ben?
100%.
And again, with any of these consent items, it's just to make sure that I'm understanding, it's the start of a timeline and almost yes, we acknowledge we need to do this and hit these benchmarks, and in exchange for that, and we do have financial penalties.
Yeah.
We acknowledge we're going to do good, and if we continue to hit these timelines, we're all in agreement that we're not gonna keep getting dinged, that we need to do the right thing.
Exactly.
Okay.
WEP did a great, and we went back and forth to really come up with, and DC was a reasonable schedule that we think we can implement. And our basis of design report that comes out of this for the more final solution will itself have a schedule of compliance in it that will become a deliverable as well. So, but we're leading the charge on that with reasonable time and obviously getting checked by DC to make sure it's reasonable and do. I'll also just note that we have a great record with Rebeing Web with stipulated penalties. We really haven't, that I'm aware of, gotten to the stipulated penalties and any consent orders. So they do a great job with keeping track on all of those.
Great. Anybody else? Thanks very much.
Thank you,
Any
guys.
other questions?
No? Okay, so then I just need somebody to go ahead and give me a motion.
I will move it.
Okay. Legislator Cody Kelly. It's easier than remembering Deb Cody. Cody Kelly. Legislator Brown, do you want a second?
I will second the
Okay.
motion.
Any other discussion? All in favor? Motion carries. Thanks so much.
Everybody.
Thanks. It's not easy.
Really? All right.
They're back.